Hello?
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome.
Welcome to the show. This is Todd, and I'm Kira.
Bam,
And
bam,
we
bam,
do things.
That's a call out to
To
one of
yesterday.
our previous shows. Oh, was it yesterday?
It was yesterday.
Wow. Yesterday was a long
Yeah.
day.
It was a long day. Was anybody else in a time warp with us yesterday? It felt like the day just dragged.
It was a long day.
It was a long
Not bad, just long.
Long.
Wow.
Long.
Anyway. Yes.
Let's marvel at the day.
We did the safety dance yesterday.
You can dance if you want
And
to.
then I posted it in the comments for anybody who needed to see the video and be reminded of its awesomeness. Yes, Kim.
Safety dance.
And I think the safety dance is actually something like this, which I never knew. I never knew that. You know, and the guys I love the guys who's singing it. He's all kind of angry the whole time. He's like, we can go where we want to. If we don't, nobody will. You know, you can act like an imbecile.
Of course you did.
You can dance if you want to.
If you want to.
We can dance if we want to. Yeah, Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny. Good morning to you, friends.
Good morning, friends.
I got coffee again.
Starbucks today.
Starbucks.
Do we want to start with a couple of breaths, maybe?
Sure.
Yeah, kind of breathe and sync up together.
Yeah, breathe. Let's sync up.
Okay, let's do that. One more. There we go.
Hey. All right. So welcome. I've been a ego busting machine this morning. Ego busting. Ego busting. Because when you know. That was the title of our thing here today. It's how do we know so well that nothing can shake us from our knowing of that thing. What is that for us? That. Yeah. I like my favorite quote from The Matrix, all of the movies, is when you are the one, you know, from balls to bones. And I'm like, that is a very accurate description.
Did Morpheus say that?
No, the Oracle did.
Shit, I don't remember that.
Yep. It was when she was giving him his cookie in the first movie.
Well, yeah. I imagine it took place then, but
right,
I don't remember it. The line, but that's a great line.
It's a great line. When you know. And because there's oftentimes, if we don't get really clear about our why are we doing something? Why are we changing something? Why does something matter to us? Then we will lose our balance. We'll lose our way. We'll lose our gumption. We'll lose our push, our drive. And the ego is just so good at finding those nooks and crannies to say, oh, but if you put yourself out there, this is going to happen. Or if you say this thing, this is going to happen. Or see, look at what happened to that person over there when they did the same thing you're wanting to do. See how they failed, and it's like, nope.
Yeah. You say no ego, and you say, I got this, I'm doing this. And if you're Kim, you say, baby, share her juice cup. Bam. Thanks for that, Kim.
Thanks for that. I was like, I don't understand what that means, but wow, just pull that together, Todd.
I think she might be talking about an actual infant.
Oh,
Perhaps,
okay.
Perhaps.
Yeah, isn't
Maybe,
that
I'm
nice?
guessing.
That's so nice.
But I like it as a line.
Yes.
You know, it's like I'm going for the walk. I'm gonna do this.
Mhm.
Baby sharing her juice cup. Oh,
yeah.
you know, nobody puts baby in a corner.
So the first one today was so last night. I'm just gonna be real. I'm gonna be real.
I'm just gonna
I'm
be
just
real.
gonna be real. Last night I said I want Taco Bell, and Todd goes.
Mhm.
Todd goes, okay, I'll get you Taco Bell. And I said, what? But
I had a feeling you were going to mention this.
But I think you said something like, what are you going to give me or something? I don't know what it was. But anyway, I had this impulse like, I'll give you 50 jumping jacks if you go get me Taco Bell or something. We negotiate in our relationship.
You had said prior that you were willing.
I was willing to do jumping jacks.
You know what? I'll do jumping jacks with you.
I'll do jumping jacks.
And then when Taco Bell came up after I had just gotten home from doing errands and I didn't want Taco Bell, it's like, sure, I'll go to Taco Bell for 25 jumping jacks. Yeah. And then we negotiated.
Yeah, and then I don't know how it went up higher.
Probably, well,
I got to 100. We did 100. I did 100 jumping jacks, guys. So anyway, I tricked my ego into doing 100 jumping jacks. I have high cholesterol, according to some scientific thing. And so one of the things that I need to start doing is jumping jacks. So I was greens like, I eat good food, pretty good food. So except for last night's Taco Bell. So anyway, super long story, made even longer. I did the jumping jacks, and what I felt was my heart muscle doing this thing, and it was like, oh my gosh, I can't catch my breath. Oh my gosh, this is a thing, that I need to be doing. And then my brain said, this is a really good thing for you, for your body. And then this morning, Todd was like, well, I'll do them with you. So we did the jumping jacks together. Yeah. But my ego was like, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. But I tricked it the first time. And the second time I just said, this is going to be good. And having a partner do it with you is always really helpful. So if you have a thing that your ego is attacking you about, and it's something that you need to do, or it's good for you, it's the right thing, or you're on that track, or you're on that path, and it might involve other people, whatever it is, just get really clear about your why. Why is that important? And let yourself follow through to the best of your ability, all the while recognizing what is you, your true self, and what is not. So, and I've been doing this a lot today with other things as well, but that's the best and quickest example I could give for knowing and allowing that knowing to pull us into the next thing, even when our ego wants to take us out.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Love that journey for you. Woohoo!
Marianne, yay.
Hi, Marianne.
Loving your journey. Yeah, I've been resisting exercise lately, but I know how important it is to get the heart rate up. It's like the most important thing. So even a few jumping jacks is something, if that mind is being resistant.
Yeah.
So
it's the easiest thing, and doesn't take.
And it wakes you up.
Thing, yeah. It doesn't take anything. Doesn't cost money. It doesn't do anything.
Nope. Yeah. The best exercises are free. You can just do standing right in your living room.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's the getting me off of the couch and standing up into the upright position to say, so yeah, sometimes we need to trick ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We're due for a walk, Kenny says, with Toddy. All right, let's see. What you want to do? A belief busting card?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm already ready for you. Moving them around.
I know you want blank, but in blank. You can acknowledge a belief's positive intention, then offer new information that relates to it. If I don't control people, then things won't turn out right. I know you want the people you love to be safe, but this belief could hurt their development. You can guess at the intention if necessary. I can't use NLP language patterns because I don't feel comfortable with them. I know you want to become highly skilled with language, and allowing yourself to experiment and learn from your mistakes is an essential part of that learning process. What is the positive intention of this belief? What purpose is it serving?
This is that's really a helpful a helpful one, because that's going to help us to align with kind of being in a permissive mindset with people, instead of saying that's a wrong belief, or that's a limiting belief, or that's dumb, or you shouldn't think that way, or whatever. We say, yeah, I know you believe that, and I know that that's something you want to keep considering. But that language pattern of but, which negates the previous statement,
But
in the subconscious mind. But it feels so much better when XYZ happens, isn't it? Or doesn't it? And so to go ahead and list out your current limiting beliefs, and speak to yourself in this way. I think it can be really helpful, where you speak to yourself and you say, okay, I can tell that this is something that has been very important to me for a long time, but I know I want something more. And see if you can work through it in that way, or work through some of those things in that way. Hi, Gigi.
Gigi.
Hello, Gigi.
I'm just looking at some notes just in case anything.
Yep. So pairing and partnering with people who who will help you to see the truth in what some of your beliefs are. It can also be very helpful. So if you work with a coach, or you work with other people, or you have a good friend who is willing just to kind of sit with you with some things, that can be really helpful as well. Also, too, I am totally on board with challenging belief systems, if you can do it in a resourceful way. Also, if somebody's stuck in one mindset or one perception of believing things, then completely turning their focus to another direction altogether can also be very helpful. One of the things Marianne Williamson used to say, she said in one of the talks that stuck with me, and she repeated it over and over again. She said, "You are my goal, my Father, only you." And I think that comes from ACIM. And "You are my goal, my Father, only you" is such a powerful quote, because it helps us go from all of the other distraction, all the other dysfunction, and we just turn our mind and our gaze and our attention to God, or Spirit, or Holy Spirit, or universe, or whatever you call it yourself. But that motivating, energetic force that is here for our good, that is who we are, who we truly are. That is not that which is not separate, right? So we look to that, and we say, "You are my goal, my Father, only you." Whatever that is does not deserve my attention or care. Only you. And if the goals that you have for your experience are in alignment with those that God has for you, which is peace, happiness, love, integrity, promotion of and upliftment of others, whatever it might be, that is your focus. That is your goal.
Good stuff.
This ties in perfect with my life coach class. Yay, good. We're talking about limiting beliefs. Perfect. Go listen to yesterday's program. Gigi, I know you popped on there kind of towards the end, but I think it was yesterday. It might have been the day before. I think it might have been the day before, but I'll tag you.
Do you remember the title of the show? I know it doesn't mean anything, but
no, I actually did change the title too. I think it said something like we address limiting beliefs.
Yeah. Well, Gigi, being a hypnotherapy student at Schaefer Institute of Hypnosis, we are going to thoroughly cover what limiting beliefs are and how you can use hypnotherapy to overcome them. So you have got a supercharged certification to help you understand and overcome limiting beliefs yourself, as well as helping your future clients overcome their limiting beliefs.
Yeah. And it takes time to learn some of these patterns and things, but ultimately you having that mindset and that frame of mind that is intended to be helpful to people, in many cases, that's enough. And the education comes, the exact process and exactly what to do kind of comes second.
Exactly.
Exactly. Okay, got it. Oh, he said, what was the quote? You are my goal, my Father, only you. Okay, got it. And yes. You go now. I've talked enough about my jumping jacks.
Well, I didn't have anything on the burner. Let me think. You are my goal, my Father, only you. Yeah, Marianne Williamson is the bomb. Bomb diggity. She was an influence to get me into course, actually, because I think I was recommended that book, A Return to Love, before I had a course book, and I got into it, and it resonated. It just zinged. It just resonated so well because she explains course in very user-friendly terms, and the book was wildly popular when it came out in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And she's written other books. And then I think I got a Course in Miracles book soon after and started reading it. And because her work had resonated with me so much, because she has been teaching Course in Miracles for so long. She really has the material integrated and understood.
Mm-hmm.
And so she can write about it really, really well. So yeah, A Return to Love, great book, Marianne Williamson.
I wrote some quotes down last night. I found online on YouTube a kind of a quotes channel, an inspirational quotes channel, which I really liked. I'll share one of these.
If there's ever dead air, I'm just going to break out with, we can go where we want to if we don't know about it well. And we're going to use it, and we're going to use it and act like an imbecile. I can do that.
All right. What were we going to talk about?
I don't think we had any. I think it's unscripted, just like every day.
I know, but all right, let's do another Belief Buster card.
I mean, I can go on any topic.
Well, then go do it.
You just got to feed me one if I don't have one. I mean, I could pick something off my phone right now.
Then that's what you do.
Because I did write some things down. Just some days I'm already like supercharged, and other days I kind of ramp up a little bit because I'm not a robot.
Yeah, ACM looked very cool. It looks like a medical handbook. It's dense.
It's
a lot.
It's dense. Yeah.
I think we need people to help decipher it for us. Along the way. So there are also different things like that you can look up, course. I don't think there's a course for dummies, but there should be.
Well, I should read it. There are many course companion books written by lots of people on how interpreting course and things like that. If course seems too dense, start with Way of Mastery, which is a different book. It's it is very user friendly. It's so easy to do. You don't have to read and reread and reread like you do with course sometimes until it sinks in. Way of Mastery is like Cliff's Notes for course in a way. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it covers a lot of the same material. Very user friendly. If you plug that into Amazon, I think you can get it on there. I don't know if you can.
What, Way of Mastery?
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah, and you can get it on Kindle. You can get all 3 books.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get it really easily.
There's also A Course of Love, which is the sequel to A Course in Miracles, and that is much easier to understand than Course is, because Course is very mentally geared, whereas Course of Love is more heart geared. But they do recommend that you do Course first before doing. They do recommend that you do Course in Miracles first before doing Course of Love. But there's no one going to stop you if you feel resonant with checking out Course of Love. But if you're brand new to the courses, I would say check out Way of Mastery. Super easy. You can read it right through. You don't have to marinate on any of it, and it can be very, very good. I've read all 3, and yeah, they're good. It might have been nice to start with Way of Mastery back in the day because it's so much easier to digest. It's not so dense like Course in Miracles is.
I mean, I think we're going to need to get a new copy of this.
Well, the dust jacket's doing its job.
It certainly is.
Yeah, the book is fine. It's just the cover is a little grubby.
I know, right?
So can you hold it up so they can see it? Yeah. Way Mastery. Yeah, it's kind of boogered up because it's old, but great book.
Yes. And I think a lot of teachers today have that work with clients or who do, group work type teachers and stuff. They use this book. They use a lot of the knowledge in this book.
I'll put the links in the.
Yeah. I thought something would pop out at me, but it's not really.
Maybe this is a relevant theme today. Hi, Ginger. If I resist, I'm afraid.
Sure.
That's coming up a big time for at least your friend. Advice unsolicited is criticism. Yeah, we did. I mean, we did some hardcore stuff yesterday. I almost think it's okay to have a chill day.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Last couple of days have been pretty hardcore.
Hi, Ginger. She says, hello, beautiful souls. Happy Friday. Friday. Hey, Friday.
What's going on with you guys?
Yeah, tell us all about you.
Anything happening with you?
And I got your text message, Ginger. I'll text you or I'll message you later. Sorry. It was a wild day yesterday. Scroll up. Nope.
Why does it do that? Well, you can just keep talking, Mom.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I don't have anything to say.
Really?
Today, really?
Yeah. Well,
and I can't see what they're commenting.
Let's just let them lead the discussion.
Yeah. So I mentioned in this one about knowing. Time to go ride and chill out. Maybe do some photography. Nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very, very good.
We can go where we want to.
So
you can go where you want to. You can snap some photos outside. Is it that hard?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just having kind of like kind of a block here.
Yeah, my head's kind of recovering from yesterday.
I don't really. Is that true?
There was a lot of energy coming through yesterday.
Big download.
Well, most days we can just spit it out and go immediately.
I feel like I'm just chilling today. Like, my inner knowing is telling me.
Eileen, happy Friday.
Eileen, my inner knowing is telling me that, it's got to be okay to just not know what to say.
Yeah, not knowing. I mean, the course says that I need do nothing. Run with it.
Thanks, honey. I thought about something is that, so I told the story on at CYL about the little boy that I did the breathing exercise with, and it helped him to reduce his heart rate, which then helped to create a new belief system in his mind about his ability to shift his physiology, right? Because when something physical is happening with us, we feel kind of like we are victim to it, like we can't control it, or we need to have an external impact on ourselves, like physical manipulation of some kind, or a pill or injection or something like that. We forget that we have many faculties already within, that if we activate them, they will, in fact, don't worry about that. It did go through. It just is being funny. So what happens is that we forget that we are pretty amazing, and that the physical body is really fascinating, and we have a lot of faculties, and we've forgotten that, or we were never taught that or told that. So I said, okay, well, with this easy breathing technique, you can reduce your heart rate. And he did it, and he was amazed by it, his ability. And so I think that when we start to notice that our mind is in control of a lot of the things that we experience physically, and things that we feel like are outside of our control, we begin to become curious about what other areas we're in more control of than what we had previously realized. And and it was funny because people have been telling me to breathe during the event, because I was working the event too. And so people kept on saying, breathe, breathe, breathe. And I'm like, stop telling me to breathe. I don't need you to tell, like, cut it out. I'm fine. I was just doing the INFJ stare with my mask on. So I'm not very readable in my face or in my mannerisms or anything like that.
No.
He's with me. It takes either I need to have a full-on meltdown before he's like, whoa, I did not realize that was in there. And so I'm a hard read, but people kept saying it to me, and I wasn't picking up on the fact that this was actually spirit talking to me and saying, without realizing, I was like, oh, breathe, tell the story about the little boy. And that pulled in this awareness, because I've told that story many times, and I've had people come up to me later and say, that actually saved my life, because I was having this experience of my heart was racing and everything was going crazy. And I did the exercise that you had taught that little boy, and I felt so much better.
You're so good. So good. So good.
Thank you.
There's a lot of psychology behind the power of storytelling too. So even with sales too, starting with stories, because people like to follow stories. Mm-hmm. We have a couple questions.
They're down.
Nope. Here's the first one.
Oh, setting some short-term goals for before I go home for Christmas. Any tips for that by chance? Short-term goals. Without knowing what they are, I would say, make them fun, make them easy.
Pack your suitcase.
Pack your suitcase. Make them fun, make them easy.
They used to say, SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, and time-based. Yeah. I think the most important one for me, if it's a goal, is that is scheduling it, like I put it in my Todoist calendar, and then so that way there's no way I will not see it, right? It's reliable, it's written down somewhere. and then the next thing is just following up and being accountable to the time frame of whatever it is, big or small. Like I know I have to post a blog today, so I know that it is priority one for my long-term goals, because it's an important thing for me to do. So mm-hmm. I know that no matter what happens, that's what I have to do,
Yep. Y'all do great work. Today is a chill day. I'm still in my jammies. Jam it up, girl.
Got my jammies on.
I got my jammies on. Let the land lay fallow. I somewhat understand what that means, and I think it just means chill. Let the lay fallow, which means don't go planting today. Is that what that means?
What does the Course say about transitioning? What happens
after we die?
Are we talking about death?
Yeah.
What does it say about that? Well, it says, I know there's a lot, but
see if there's an index. Oh, look.
It's a loaded question.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Go ahead, read it.
There is no death, because the Son of God is like his Father. Nothing you can do can change eternal love. Forget your dreams of sin and guilt and come with me instead to share the resurrection of God's Son, and bring with you all those whom he has sent to you to care for as I care for you. I know that sounds very whatever.
Nebulous.
No. I mean, I know that might sound very Catholic or very Christian or very whatever, but just replace the Son with what? Like, not Holy Spirit, but with
the Son. The Son.
no,
or
the Son.
the
S-O-N.
person.
God.
Well, the Son.
Because when we hear stuff like resurrection, we think Christianity.
The book is written in Christian terms on purpose because most people have an affinity or they understand Father, Son, Holy Spirit, even though the course doesn't need to be written that way.
Well, it was written. Yeah, it was written to be more acceptable, probably back in the day, because it was in the 60s, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That was on.
How about we update this? There's no death because the Son of God, because we
right. There is no death.
Are like God, are like Spirit. Nothing you can do can change eternal love. So you can't die and make that difference, right?
Yeah. Right. There is no death. There is no death. Period. End of story. There is no death. You go on forever. There is no death. There is a transition, and the transition from being physically embodied to disembodied. But I think Course says that being alive and in limitation and having a split mind is death. And then because we're separate from God, and it's our job to the purpose of being here is to seek the kingdom, right? So that means uncovering everything that all of the false idols, everything that we have made, everything and everyone that we've made special, and giving that up, undoing the fears, allowing love and realization to come back in, and then you traverse death. So hasn't been done by very many people, but more will be doing it soon.
As far as becoming enlightened,
having realization, overcoming the split mind, the human limitations. So yeah, that's a big topic.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is no death. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And that was under Manual for Teachers. And I randomly flipped to the page, literally just flipped to the page, and it said there's no death. Okay.
You're a great page flipper.
I'm a great page flipper. I can flip the hell out of some pages. Yeah. Hello, eternal love. All right. You are a hard read, Ginger says, ? You think I'm an easy read? I think you have but you kind of hooked into some groovy stuff.
You're she's probably used to seeing you at events or something.
Yeah.
And when
I'm in a very different place than I am
you have
normally.
A job to do and you are projecting yourself, and it's kind of easy to see where you are. I think it's when we go inward.
When I go inward and talk to myself in my head, I think people view me in a way.
Yeah, it's hard. We're a harder read, especially INFJs, because we go inward a lot. Hello, eternal love. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
it is eternal love.
It is eternal love.
Okay.
All right.
This has been great.
This has been really nice. Thank you guys for showing up.
Yeah, I'm surprised that we're not getting flooded with ideas like we were.
I know.
Like we were the last couple of days.
I feel like I got into my physicality this morning with our jumping jacks. And I thought that might actually help things kind of come through. But randomly open to another ACIM page, Kenny says. Oh, shit.
Done and done.
I don't know. It's okay. Oh. I'll let him open to her random page. See, it's so you almost have to change the language.
I know. I got something.
Oh, he got it.
I know what page it's on too.
Okay.
Page 29.
29. Ooh, that's a good one.
Here's a great little prayer that you can say every day if you want to, on page 28 of the combined volume. Mm-hmm. You can do much on your behalf of your own healing and that of others if, in a situation calling for help, you think of it this way. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. Good stuff.
That's a good one. That one is so permissive because it just helps us show up.
Permissive. In the beginning, the preface of the course, this book was channeled by an atheist, by the way, Helen Schuckman. And on page X of the preface, it gives you the basis of the course. All right. What it says: nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So that's the logic of the whole book. Nothing real can be threatened. So the book, being a channeled document, it's Jesus, right? So nothing real can be threatened. So it's telling you what is real, and then nothing unreal exists, and then it goes in full bore to the ego and fear and how that's not real. And then as long as you understand the difference of real and unreal, you get to unhook practice. Your practice is unhooking from what's unreal, not giving it power, which we've talked about exhaustively in many episodes, right? And then what fills in is the peace of God, right? If we're not practicing the separation, if we're pulling off behaviors, drama starts going away, toxicity starts going away. As we continue to pull off those things, and generally what starts to fill in is more of our authenticity, right?
Mm-hmm.
More of allowing ourselves to be led, more loving experiences filling in, more peace filling in, things like that. Generally, it goes gradually. It doesn't fill in massively all the time, but yeah.
There are 3 sentences about 12 words.
It's a brick by brick
right?
thing.
3 sentences about 12 or 13 words, and this explains it. Those, and then there are hundreds of books out there, probably more than that explain this,
right?
Or explain this. So. Like for me to even my mind just went, oh, I can't even begin to try to help people get out of the Christian mindset of what this is, or historically. Yeah, no, I just can't do it. No, I wouldn't even begin to be able to do it.
This is the kind of book that people come to on their own generally. When someone gets interested in white magic, new age, spirituality and stuff, they don't pick up this book first. No, they go. They
would run for the hills.
They go for the tarot cards and all these other fun things and play in that.
I did. The only reason why I picked this book up, because I was like, I would like to have something that I could teach. That was I was like, I've done tarot card readings, I've done channeling, I've done Reiki, I've done all these things. And I was like, well, this looks like a good book, because it says Workbook of Students, Manual for Teachers, Clarification of Terms, and Supplements. And I'm like, oh, well, it's kind of all in one teaching system. And I like miracles. And then I immediately put it back because I opened it up and I was like, no, this looks like a Jesus book. And then after meeting Todd, after having his experience with it, he was able to decipher it for me better on a one-on-one kind of basis that helped me to see what it was truly saying, which was those first 3 lines that he read just a minute ago.
Right. So when people are drawn to spirituality, they might start with cards. We started with cards and things like that, and other books that you're drawn to. But and there's nothing wrong with that. But a book like this is going to be one of the last books you're drawn to, because it really gets into undoing the ego. Yeah. And the first things are, it might sound a little cynical, but the early attempts at spirituality, I'll just speak for myself. I know it's true for a lot of people. are have sincerity, but they're also I don't know what's with my throat today. They're sincerely based, but they're also kind of the ego uses them to build the identity of that person more.
Sure. I did.
And I think that's just human nature.
Yeah.
So
and it was so fun.
Yeah, so fun.
Mhm.
So, but in time, you know, if you become drawn to a book like this, it's really about undoing the identity and the ego, and that's when you start giving your mind over to the Holy Spirit more, and start hunting for where you're hooked into the ego to start getting free of it, right? Because ego is not going to bless you for, ego is not going to rear its ugly head if you're just reinforcing your identity. You know, it's fine with that.
Yeah. Please keep reinforcing your identity. Yep.
But when you start hunting for it, then it'll start throwing its stuff up, and that's when you want to. That's when you're making some big progress. So half of this book is text, half of it is the workbook and some supplemental materials. But there's 365 days of lessons in the back of this book, and I actually did the year long of lessons several times, and I still haven't read everything in the text. Right?
And what's cool about it is that you just have to read it or hear it. You don't have to understand it. You also don't have to agree with it. You just bring it in instead of being like, oh, I can't figure this out. It's okay. You don't have to. Right.
And Carolyn talks about this extensively in her YouTube channel, where she teaches course all the time. And, she'll repeat things like on page 2 of the workbook where it says, remember only this is in the instructions before you start day 1. You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept them. You need not even welcome them. Some of them you may actively resist. None of this will matter or decrease their efficacy, but do not allow yourself to make exceptions in applying the ideas the workbook contains, and whatever your reactions to the ideas may be, use them. Nothing more than that is required. So Jesus has confidence,
Swagger. Because Jesus was according to the Holy Spirit. We are the Holy Spirit in physical form. That's all. And the more we allow that to come in, because we bring more attention to that love-based idea, everything else falls into place. Right?
Yep. So, a lesson a day. If you're interested in that, and you don't have to read the text before you do the lessons. You can just crack it open to, if you're the kind of person who likes structure, you could just open it up to the workbook and about halfway through, and then there's an introduction, and then there's a lesson every day that you read. There's even apps on Google Store, Google Play for free, and ACIM apps, things like that. Several of them. There's many websites. And you just practice the ideas one a day. And I mean, a lot of these lessons I have memorized. There's a primary thought, and then there's an explanation, and sometimes an activity to do. Like this one is, I have no neutral thoughts. I see no neutral things. And we've said quotes in here. In our shows, I don't know what anything is for. We've mentioned that several times. I don't know what anything means. I don't know what anything is for. Yeah. It's pretty good stuff. Yeah, and you can resist your way through the whole thing. But if you're
still gonna get something good from it.
But you will get something. Yeah, It's really great.
I think I've gotten to day 30.
Yeah, the first time
I might do the app this year.
The first time I did maybe I should do it again. The first time I did it, I took it. I had messed around and read it for a couple years here and there, and then a few years in, I decided to do the workbook, and then I did the workbook, and it took me like 4 years, 3 or 4 years just to get through it, because I had stopped and marinated on one lesson for multiple days, which is okay to do. You're allowed to do that. And then I would forget about it, then come back to it and things like that. So it took like several years, and I don't even think I finished the workbook the first time. I picked it up again and again, forgot about it, picked it back up, but that's okay, because your mind needs the time that it needs to unravel itself. And the cool part is the really metaphysical cool part is that you don't need to understand the ideas the way that you understand everything else for the course to benefit you. You just have to do it if you want to do it, and then it will work on you. This is a required course, it says in the beginning. So yeah, so that's very cool. But the second and third times I did the course, I picked it up many years later, and I did the workbook, I should say, and I did it in, I don't know, 2015 or 2018, somewhere in there. And I did it 2 years in a row, back to back, and I did not miss any days.
Yes, I remember.
I did it for an entire year. And then the second time, I beg your pardon?
You were very dedicated.
Yeah, I'm surprised I stuck with it to do it every day for a year.
Yeah.
I didn't skip any days. And the second time I did it, my buddy Josh did it with me, separately. And then we got to talk about the different lessons and stuff. And yeah, and there's lots of teachers too. So there's a lot of benefit to it. Yeah, it's a wonderful tool. I forget to mention the workbook because that's been such a massive, it's easy to do. You don't have to worry about like trying to interpret the density of the material. Because back in 2006, when I first picked up this book, I thought it was cool, but I remember having to reread a paragraph again and again and again to get it. But it was also absorbing, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And I felt my mind shifting, but it was very dense and I didn't have any reference. It was brand new.
Yeah.
Now that's not the case. I can just read it, but
I can't. but I still believe in the lessons, and I still believe in what is being said because I have interpreters for me.
But when you do the workbook, it's easy. I mean, you don't. It's pretty easy to get through the lessons without having to struggle to understand it. I think it's pretty easy to do, and you don't have to read the beginning part to do the lessons if you're interested in that. But yeah, it's been a huge benefit for me, and I really enjoyed it, and it's been the backbone of my spirituality for sure. Not the first book I picked up on spirituality. There were many others before I even touched this that I had been drawn to and that I needed to kind of open my mind, and we're not all going to read the same books, I mean, she's more drawn to Wayne Dyer than I am, but I love Wayne Dyer. He's one of my favorites. But he wasn't one of the first books that I picked up. I didn't encounter him until later. But ultimately, I was led to this because this was important for my development and teaching and living and sharing and things like that. And then I found Way of Mastery. And then just a couple years ago, I found A Course of Love and Real Love books. I mean, there's no end to wonderful tools that we can apply and read about. But I will say this, no matter what tool that you find or what book that you find, it's the practicing and the application that determines how much you're going to grow from it. It is not, I repeat, it is not how much you know it intellectually, because I knew a lot of this stuff intellectually and did my share of proselytizing. And then, but when I got into Real Love and started practicing that's when my mind started shifting more. And then when I got into the presence process, that's when my definition of integration took on a radical new depth. Because I really started integrating my unintegrated emotional charges with things. And if you've watched previous episodes, we've talked at length about how impactful the presence process has been by Michael Brown. So I will say that was a massive game changer in terms of helping me to understand what integration truly looks like. And you're integrated something when it comes up less and less. It's just not something that has to fire because you're not needing to resolve it anymore. And so the breathing from the presence process really helps. And then it really galvanizes the things that you do know mentally that previously you still had your emotional triggers and things underneath going on. So that was a big deal. Hey, Carolyn. So you asked for talking, you got talking. I hope you got what you wanted here.
I got talking.
You're like, I don't know what we're talking about. I don't know what we're talking about. Then I start talking, and you're like, oh yeah, this. And here's the presence process for those of you who haven't seen it before by Michael Brown. Oh, and by the way, I just started a support group for the presence process. My presence process is stirring up some shit.
Yeah, I hear that. Do you want me to put a link to the?
Yeah,
group?
please do.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a presence process support group for free on Facebook for anybody who wants to join. We're going to add the link. It's not a teaching group or anything. It's just a group for people to who are doing the presence process to share experiences that they want to, because it is very deep and changing, and it does stir the pot for what you got going on, and it's nice to have some camaraderie with that. So
yeah, so it's kind of a funny thing with this private link. I
tell you what,
this will work.
I tell you what, if you want me to invite you, just comment, and then I'll invite you, because it's a private group. Yeah,
but here is the link, but you may not be able to. You might be able to ask to join. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you can ask to join or not.
Yeah. So
yeah,
presence process. What you got going on, girlfriend? Anything in particular, or an overall thing you want to get loved around?
You want to get loved around? Eileen wants to be invited.
Right.
Well, we will invite the crap out of you.
There you go.
Yeah, even if you're just thinking about doing the presence process or reading it, you're still welcome to join the group and just benefit from other people who are doing it. Sometimes people want to just read the book and audit it without actually doing the 10-week breathing, and that's totally fine too. I thought that's what I was going to do, but I ended up doing the breathing the first time around. Yeah. Did you invite her?
I did.
Awesome.
All right, I invited you. Everything is fantastic, and my emotions are way up and down.
Sounds like you're doing it right.
Hi, Debbie.
Hi, Debbie.
Let's see. So, okay. Well, that sounds normal.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound weird.
Yeah, it definitely brings stuff up.
I'd like to try. All right, Marianne. Come on, girl.
Sure.
All right, let me go ahead. I'll invite you.
We'll invite you.
So.
And we'll put a link to the book too. Or actually, inside the group, there's a link you can click to get the book. No, you do not. You do not have to read it to be invited. No, we can invite you. Mary is my mom, y'all.
Yay, joined and accepted.
Don't have to read it to be invited. No, you do not.
No, but you won't get anything from it.
No, because it's
you'll
not
just be in the group.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, if you just want to.
It's a group. It's not a teaching group for the book. It's a group for people to share their experiences while they're doing the presence process, because it can pull up a lot of stuff.
A lot of painful stuff.
It can pull up a lot of painful stuff, and it helps to have a mighty companion.
Mighty companions.
So yeah, we're totally happy to invite you if you like.
So, what do we have? Anything else we want to say, or are we ready to go?
Yeah, we can do whatever.
Okay, well, cool. So happy to invite you guys to the presence process group. I think that'll be good. And then we will see you on Monday. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. He's going to put the book up for the presence process.
I'm going to put a link to the presence process book. By all means, continue.
Did you move us around here? No.
Nope.
All right. All right. Where am I?
You were making announcements.
Yes. So I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you on Monday. That's when we come back on here. And we will just, see what our next unscripted is going to be.
Yeah.
Yesterday was great. The day before was great. Today was kind of like,
see, we just have now we're saying that we have expectations that
we have
if we
expectations.
perform a certain way, that we have to keep performing a certain way.
I know.
And that's putting undue pressure on ourselves. It's so life is ebb and flow, so we're going to be, there's no way I could keep up what we did yesterday every single day, because I could if I tried, but I would be efforting and it wouldn't be organic. So it's okay that it was more chill today.
Yeah.
We don't have to have an opinion on that, otherwise we'd be like, I grew up doing this to myself, so maybe I have something on it, but it's like, you do this, well, you got to keep doing that. And and no, it's okay. It's okay to be chill. It's okay to relax. It's okay to allow. That's why it's unscripted.
That's why we made it that way.
Yeah.
Some days are great. Some days are greater.
We surrendered this session to Holy Spirit guidance, and we're led accordingly.
That's all we can do. We're
That's
just here to be a helpful helpmate. Just like the Course says, I'm here only to be truly helpful.
Yeah. We don't know what anything means, anything is for. We don't know what people need to hear. We just ask that we be the conduit for what we need to hear for ourselves, and what other people might need to hear as well.
You got it. All right,
Yay.
you guys. Yeah. And also too, hypnotherapyschool.net. Go ahead and check us out. Apply for enrollment. We'd love to have you. Our next session starts now. So if you guys want to, I've just got to put that on our website. I haven't changed that yet.
It still says December 1.
Yeah. But our next enrollment, what's the right word? Completion date. Not completion. Registration closes. I believe that'll be on January 10th. So you'll definitely want to get in there and register. We also do a 20% off limited time discount if we do choose to have you as a student. So let's start doing some work together and have some fun and get out there and start changing lives and changing minds and having a good time when we do it.
2022 is going to be a fresh start for a lot of us. So let's lead off with the right foot.
That's right.
With your new hypnotherapy certification.
Woohoo! Eileen, have a wonderful weekend, mighty people. Woohoo! Oh, and Sunday, Carolyn does her Fill Your Love Tank. And we will, I've got that kind of different places and on my page and whatnot too. So I'll put that out there for that event as well. It's over Zoom. And so you can do it from your pajamas, which I like. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Bye.